Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Dr. Hafsa Harishi, and I'm chair of BIMA Council. I'm also a GP and a certified wellness and success coach. And today I've been asked to talk to you about looking after yourself in BIMA. So the first thing I'd like to say is sincerely with all my heart, welcome to the BIMA family. Great to have you on board. And today I'll be talking a little bit about the BIMA ethos, looking after yourself, where you can go to for support, inshallah, while you're part of Team BIMA. And I'll be telling you about the BIMA People team as well and the Team BIMA handbook, inshallah. So just to tell you a bit about the BIMA volunteer ethos, look, we acknowledge that you're a volunteer, and we're firstly really, really grateful that you've volunteered to give up your precious time and skills to contribute to BIMA. So Jazakallah khair for putting yourself forward, first of all. And I just want to let you know about the culture in BIMA, that first of all, you know, we want to create a culture in BIMA that of no blame, shame, guilt, or judgment, you know. We're all sincere volunteers, inshallah, for the sake of Allah, and we don't at any point want you to feel judged or guilty that you can't contribute as maybe much as other people. Don't compare yourself to others. You know, anytime you can give us give the organization, we are grateful for, inshallah. And just want to let you know that we don't just want you to do some tasks for BIMA during your time with us, but we really hope that being part of the BIMA family, being part of Team BIMA will enable you to grow, inshallah, as a person yourself. We hope you'll gain for yourself lots out of being part of BIMA. And inshallah, we hope that this will be through the skills you gain, through volunteering, the inspiring people that you will meet, inshallah, that, you know, being part of the brotherhood and sisterhood of BIMA, you know, you'll gain, inshallah, you know, informal mentorship. I mean, that's been one of the things that's that I've enjoyed most out of being in BIMA, is the amazing people I've met and amazing friendships I've formed. And also, hopefully, your growth will be augmented by the mindsets you'll be exposed to and the trainings you'll be offered, inshallah, during your time with BIMA. And, you know, I just want you to really take this opportunity to really unleash your potential, inshallah. You know, during your time with volunteering in BIMA, really let your creativity flourish, you know. There's so much, you know, now that you've put yourself forward to volunteer, inshallah, the doors of opportunity will open for you. Lots of opportunities await, and it's really, being part of BIMA is really an opportunity to contribute and leave a legacy and leave a big sadaqah jariyah, inshallah. And the thing is, like, we all have busy lives, right? But it becomes easy to live our life on autopilot and, you know, get busy in the day-to-day of going to work, coming home, you know, children, family, all of that, chores, you know, that routine. But inshallah, BIMA will be, I hope BIMA will be your opportunity for an escape, as I say, for your creativity to come out and for you to feel that, you know, you're really contributing to a legacy, something that will excite you, inshallah. Because this is your opportunity to really make a difference, inshallah. And they say in the personal development world that, you know, growth, personal growth and contribution are real keys to fulfillment. So I hope you will get that through your time of volunteering for BIMA, inshallah. So how are you going to make time for BIMA? I mean, I'm sure you're all busy healthcare professionals, and you look, it can be a juggle, you know, balancing BIMA with family, busy career, exams, other commitments. You know, you might have been hesitant to apply for your BIMA position because of all of this. And, you know, it's really, really important to, you know, as that you don't get overwhelmed and burn out through volunteering for BIMA. So how can you make time to volunteer for BIMA? Well, it's all about, how can you leverage your precious time? Leverage meaning, how can you get maximal output for the minimal input of effort, time, and energy from yourself? So you may have heard of the Pareto principle, that you want to focus your efforts on the 20% of things that will give you the 80% of results. So my suggestions for you would be, prioritize attending meetings, so you can really keep in the loop of your team, because we do have a lot of interaction on WhatsApp in BIMA, but it can sometimes, if you're very busy, be hard to keep up with all the WhatsApp messages. So if you just make it a point to attend the meetings of your team, then you'll be able to keep in the loop and catch up with everything. Also, if you take on a task, if you volunteer to do a task, just schedule, have a think, and just schedule a time to do it, because this principle that what gets scheduled gets done, and then it's not like an overwhelming thing that's draining your energy and another thing on your to-do list. If you just think, okay, when am I going to do this, inshallah, and schedule a time, it'll get done. Also, I'd say is be aware of your peak productivity time. Like if it's a very cognitively heavy task that you've taken on, or something where you've got to produce some document or something like that, often to try and do that in the night time, that might be difficult. So just have a think about when is it that you can get things done the fastest. For some people, including myself, often it is the night time that where you can wind down and get a lot done after the kids are in bed. So just think what kind of times work for you to get things done. Also, consider working smarter, not harder, as in, just getting, if you kind of, say you take on a task, you got to produce a bit of work, really focus your time, try and have a nice quiet spot where you can do it. And if you focus and are present in the task, you'll probably get it done faster. And inshallah, remember that because you've volunteered fi sabilillah, inshallah, Allah will put barakah in your time, and have that time abundance mindset, inshallah, and may Allah put lots of barakah in your time. Another thing I'd say is, done is better than perfect. Obviously, as Muslims, we want to do everything with ihsan, with excellence. We want to do things to a high standard. But if you get caught up in the, perfectionism trap that, this has to be perfect, it can become a little bit sometimes daunting or overwhelming to get tasks done. So, avoid, we want to avoid perfectionism, but the main thing is getting the tasks done and just doing it to a good high standard. And another analogy I like to share with you, that because people often ask me, how do you make time for BIMA? I've got two young kids, and I've got a job as well. So how do I make time for BIMA? Well, I love this principle of rocks and sand, that when you've got your timetable of your week plan, think about what are the rocks and what are the sand. So when I say, what do I mean by rocks and sand? So the analogy that if you have a glass and you fill it with sand, it's going to be very hard to put rocks in it. But if you put the rocks in first, then the sand fits around it. So if you consider your BIMA work as a rock, for example, and all the essential things that you need to get done in a week as a rock, schedule that, when are you going to do things, when are you going to make time for things, and then you'll find other things fit around it. If you prioritize it and make a point to do something that you really want to do, then other things inshallah will fit around it. And also, I would say to you, in terms of looking after yourself during your time of BIMA, really put yourself, your family, and your deen first, and then BIMA after. Schedule quality time with nothing else in your mind with your family. and make time for your own rejuvenation as well. See, we don't want you to sort of burn out or have any resentment towards BIMA because it's taken you away from your family or away from your deen, having time for your deen studies, or, because it's exhausting you. We don't want that for you. So, really make time for your own rejuvenation as well. There's this concept again in the personal development world of sharpening the saw, that you have to, if you want to, operate productively, you have to rejuvenate. So sharpen the saw, meaning there's an analogy given that there was a woodcutter, and he was told he's got a certain amount of time to chop down a tree. So he spent he was told, for example, he's got 4 hours to cut down a tree. So he spent 3 hours sharpening the saw, making it sharp, and then 1 hour cutting it down, as opposed to using a blunt saw for 4 hours to try and cut down a tree. So I hope you get the picture that you have to look after yourself in order to be productive. Also, sleep well, eat healthy, really, and also be realistic about what you can take on. Look, there's no pressure. We know, as I say, we know you're volunteers. So there's absolutely no, even, different people have different capacities. So take on what's within your capacity, because everybody's situation is different. And as I say, there's no judgment, there's no need to compare yourself to others, there's no need to just take on tasks in order to please, people please or please others. Do what you can do, because anything you can contribute, inshallah, you'll get reward for, and your team leads will be grateful for. And like I say, be really honest with yourself and communicate clearly with team directors what you can take on. That's all we ask, that you communicate clearly. And if you take on a task, but then you find you can't do it because other things come up, as other things can come up in life, please just let your team leads or directors know as soon as possible. Because, we understand if people have other commitments or things come up in life. But what gets really difficult is when people take things on, when people say, yeah, I'll do this task, but then they kind of disappear or they don't do it. And then the team leads are having to kind of chase, and you don't want to feel like you're nagging people. And it can be quite draining for team directors and vice directors who are also volunteers at the end of the day, to chase people and to, it's not a nice feeling to feel like you're nagging people, that kind of thing. So if you take on a task but then feel overwhelmed by it or feel you can't do it, just ask for support, or just let directors know that actually I said I'd do this, but I can't do it, and just keep the communication really clear and open, inshallah. Also, really, during your time in BIMA, feel free to offer suggestions for improvement, and also encourage you to really be patient with others, including your team leads, inshallah. We're all in this together. It's all a learning process. BIMA is continually evolving. It's by no means the systems aren't perfect, and please bear in mind that everyone, including the BIMA Council, BIMA, the directors, executive committee, we're all volunteers. So if we don't meet your expectations or don't respond immediately, just bear with us. Just feel free to offer constructive feedback for how we can improve things, improve our systems. But just remember, as I say, BIMA is just all completely composed of volunteers. It's the composition and collaboration of its volunteers. And if you've not been part of Team BIMA before, you might think, mashallah, like our outputs, they look very professional, and they may look very slick. And then you might find, I just want to let you know that, if when you come inside of Team BIMA and you find, as I say, you mashallah, the teams have been amazing. There's been so many amazing people in BIMA, and there's been lots of amazing outputs. But when you come in and you find that, okay, things, I don't want you to be surprised if, sometimes meetings get cancelled, or, I don't want, and if things don't quite meet your expectation of sort of professionalism. I mean, we try our best, obviously, to operate a professional standard, but just remember, as I say, that it is all a completely voluntary organization. Also, so how can you get the most out of BIMA? So firstly, be proactive and use your own initiative to offer suggestions. So really feel free to be proactive. Be a team player and open to learning from different new experiences. And also remember, BIMA is a meritocracy, you know, so if you're proactive, if you're reliable, you will get lots of opportunities, inshallah, to really, shine, inshallah. But we do ask that, you respect the team dynamic, you respect, leadership, and you respect the shura of your team, the consultation, the, decisions that the team makes. Like, don't get frustrated if, you have one opinion, but then the majority opinion of the team is not the same opinion as yours. It's really is all about teamwork and, respecting the collective decision of the group. Also, to get the most out of BIMA, really tap into the power of collaboration, respect and, honor the fact that, when people collaborate as opposed to being individuals, there's so much more we can achieve. If we were just one individuals operating in our own place of work as individual healthcare professionals, how far would we have been able to get? But it's because we've united in this way that, alhamdulillah, BIMA's been able to produce and do so much. So I want to share this quote with you, that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. So really, as I say, sometimes you might think, oh, I've suggested this idea, nobody's got back to me, or you might feel slightly frustrated, but request you to be, patient and, just, as I say, respect the team shura, inshallah. Also, how can you get the most out of BIMA? Really take on tasks that you enjoy, so that you really enjoy and love your time in BIMA and get fulfillment out of it. Also attend events, use all the services, and really don't be reluctant to ask for help and support. Also seek informal mentorship, inshallah. You'll have lots of opportunity, as I say, to make amazing friendships, meet amazing people, inshallah. And yeah, all you have to do is ask someone, get in touch with people, talk to people, and you'll find that you'll get a lot of, as I say, informal, mentorship and support. And, put yourself forward as well to develop your leadership and lead tasks and projects when opportunities arise. So in terms of support available, inshallah, you'll have your senior advisor, your director and vice director of your team. If you're in the executive committee, you'll have the chairs of EXCO, you'll have council as well. There's also the BIMA people team that are there to look after overall the welfare of Team BIMA. The other team members in your team as well, you can turn to them, inshallah, for support. And really, I just want to emphasize again that, let people know if you're feeling overwhelmed at any point, and as opposed to, letting people know after you've burnt out, just we're all there for each other, inshallah. Just to tell you a bit more about the BIMA people team. So the BIMA people team are there to, they've arranged this induction for you. Also, they arrange like virtual, in this COVID year, we've been arranging sort of virtual meetups, just, for mutual welfare of each other. In non-COVID times, we've arranged retreats. And also BIMA people can provide you with, things like if you need certificates or letters for your portfolio, things like that. BIMA people team can help with things like that as well, inshallah. Also, just to let you know, there's also the Team BIMA handbook there for your reference with lots of useful frequently asked questions, and this will be made available to you, inshallah. There's lots of resources and information on the website, and there's also we have within BIMA various policies such as the disciplinary and grievance policy, bullying and harassment policy, whistleblowing policy, safeguarding policy, equality policy. They're all kind of formalities, but if at any point you want to reference those policies, you just have to email info@britishima.org and we can send that across to you. And yeah, just want to finish by saying, just remember, always remember your intentions, inshallah, for volunteering. Make your intentions purely for the sake of Allah, inshallah, and may your time in BIMA be a source of sadaqah jariyah for you, because that's ultimately probably why you volunteered, is to gain Allah's reward, right? So inshallah, may you gain lots of sadaqah jariyah, and really hope you will really enjoy and value and cherish your time in the organization, and that will be a catalyst for your personal development, and it will make lots of lasting friendships, inshallah. So thank you, Jazakallah khair, so much for listening. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to email me, hafsaq@gmail.com. That's my personal email, so you can feel free to email me, or the BIMA people team as well. And thank you for listening. And very quickly, I just want to quickly show you the Team BIMA handbook. So yeah, this, as I say, this is a document that will be provided to you. It's got the Team BIMA handbook. It's just got lots of useful information for reference that is going to be covered in an induction anyway, but it's there as a document for you as well, like information about the council and executive committee, just certain sort of principles and rules for team working, publishing papers and posters, media engagement, award nominations, representation to external bodies. If you want to, propose a new project, what can you do? How do you interact with comms team? So there's lots of useful information there. What you do if you need reimbursement on anything, how the WhatsApp groups work, working with external organization, things about membership. So there's lots of useful contacts as well. So there's just lots of information there as well for you should you need it. Just wanted to show you that as well. All right, take care. Assalamu alaikum.